Welcome to the Saints Sports Corner. We got a great show for today. We're going to be talking about how the New Orleans Saints lost against the Atlanta Falcons. We also going to be talking about how Tyler Shough continues to impress as the Saints fall to the Falcons. We also going to be talking about how Kellen Moore needs to add a running back to this running back room so that he can have a healthy runner and a consistent run game for the 2026 season when it comes to the New Orleans Saints. We got a lot more of that on the Saints Sports Corner.
Yeah. Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that said they gon' beat them Saints? A win is a win by a mile or an inch. It's any given Sunday when we battling in the trenches. Who that? We that? Who that? We that? Die hard even after an L. Still reppin' in my section, yelling outside the dome, going home. Who that? We that? Black and gold soul, that's my song. Who that? We that? Who that? We that? Touchdown Saints, putting points on the board is how my squad steady winning. Sacks on D, turnovers, wow, don't even think about. Coming back, it's already late in the fourth now. We that, who that, we that, who that, who that, who that. 4,000-yard QB, 1,000-yard rusher, 1,200-yard receiver, straight pressure. Lockdown corner, throw that ball if you want it. TFL's in the backfield, boy, we on you. Black and gold, so that's what I'm all about. Forget about the division, the Saints run the South. Who that, we that. Who that? We that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that?
Welcome in, New Orleans Saints fans. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. Who that, we that. You already know what it is. Shough that. It's going down. But as always, man, make sure you like and subscribe. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Continue to leave the comments, man. I appreciate all the love, man. And I'll make sure I respond to you guys ASAP. But other than that, let's just dive right in, man. The New Orleans Saints fell for the Atlanta Falcons. I know. We got swept by the Falcons. We can't tell the Falcons anything. The Falcons pulled out their brums and swept our ass. They sure did. Got to give them credit where credit is due. I know they fired their coach. I know that they fired their GM. I know all of that. But the Saints got swept by the Falcons. There ain't nothing we can tell a Falcons fan for all the way to next season. Yes, we lost. Pull out the brooms. They swept us. It sucks because that's the games we're supposed to win. But we can't call the Falcons the Falcons because right now we the ain'ts. Because they whooped our ass both times with two different quarterbacks. So it is what it is. But let's talk about the Saints on the Saints side, man. Tyler Shough continues to make throws that wows people. Tyler Shough continues to impress people. Tyler Shough continues to build a fan base large enough for the city of New Orleans to stand on. Tyler Shough is absolutely making impressive throws. He's not making excuses. He's playing with less. He's doing whatever it takes for you to understand that he is the guy. He's doing whatever it takes for you to understand that he's here. The guy arm talent is phenomenal. He made two throws late in the fourth quarter that were just wild throws. You know, that wide receiver one-hand reception he made in the end zone. Also that throw he made running to his right side like a sidearm pass. Man, listen, this dude Tyler Shough is an absolute bona fide stud, a baller. I know people make fun of his age and all of these things, but he just gets it. He does have that it factor. He does things game after game after game after game after game that makes you understand that this guy is going to be your franchise quarterback for at least the next 5 years. Now, they do have to build it around him. We all know that. We all know that Tyler Shough needs more weapons. We all know the Saints need tight ends, wide receivers, running backs, offensive linemen, interior offensive linemen to be more specific. But the Saints right now should be elated. They should be ecstatic. They should be happy because they have found the signal caller. And when you find the quarterback, everything else falls in place. It becomes much more easy to evaluate your guys within your system. Also, evaluate guys out of your system, because sometimes you could just see a vision for a guy who you know that the quarterback could throw to, that this guy is undervalued, and the quarterback and his connection could be just like that, can take off. You've seen the Sean Payton do this with guys many a times from other teams. You've seen Sean Payton do this both on the offense and defensive side. Look at a guy like Demario Davis. You know what I'm saying? He'll be a guy. Look at a guy like Darren Sproles. Even though Sproles was what he was in San Diego, he still was a dominant player for the New Orleans Saints. Sometimes when you got the quarterback, guys just pop and you immediately have a vision for them. And I look for Kellen Moore and the New Orleans Saints to find their players now that they seem to have or have the quarterback in place in-house. Shough is just a really good quarterback, man. Now, like I said on the last podcast, teams are going to have tape. Teams are going to know how to attack him. Teams are going to know the talent that he has around him. And teams are going to study this tape. Teams are going to really study Tyler Shough, because anytime there's a quarterback, people want to know what you're doing. Anytime a team has success, teams want to know what they're doing. And it's a copycat league. So teams are going to break him down. They're going to peel him apart. They're going to rip up his tape. They're going to chop up his tape. They're going to do whatever it takes you have to do to overanalyze and make sure they got all the answers for Tyler Shough. Now, Kellen needs to do the same. Whatever he had in his bag this year, he got to open his bag a lot more. And that bag got to get deeper. It has to get more abundant with more plays. He has to make sure that Tyler Shough is in a position to where he understands what's being thrown at him so that he can succeed and he can elevate his game in year 2. Now, it also requires the team as a whole to get better up front and more consistency up front. It starts with up front. We all know that. But the Saints have been juggling this offensive line for the 2 or 3 years now. It has to stop somewhere. We got to get some consistency up front. And now that we have the 2 tackles, which they're both going to get healthy, we have to find some consistency up front. And the only way Tyler Shough is going to have success is for him to have the clean pocket. Of course, nothing's going to be perfect, but consistency with your offensive line and the guys that's in it is a start. Also, more weapons. Now, you know we got Jalen Polk sitting on the sideline. Obviously, Chris Olave. You got a guy who they signed from Denver in Vele. Not signed, but traded for in Vele. So you got some guys waiting in the wings. Now that running back room is and that tight end room is going to get tricky because you don't know if you're going to have Taysom Hill. You don't really have a bona fide tight end. Jawan Johnson makes some catches, man, but I need to see it early in the season from Jawan Johnson, not just late in the season. He always ball out late in the season, but early in the season, I need to see it from Jawan Johnson. Running back position, Kamara's getting up there in age, but we still haven't had 1,000-yard rush in 8 seasons. That kind of popped out to me. Like, we don't have 1,000-yard rushers, so we got to get that Mark Ingram back to spell Kamara if he's going to be injury prone. Not saying he's injury prone, if he's going to be injury prone. We can always use another back. Where we draft them is important. I just think that first round pick got to be a bona fide slam dunk. Whether it's a receiver, whether it's a defensive end, I don't know. But it has to be a slam dunk, you know? We got to get to a point where no matter what side of the ball it's on, it's just a slam dunk pick. And we're not going to look too forward to the draft. But let's just focus on this season as a whole. The Saints did some really good things. The defense showed a model of consistency late in the season. They got much better under Brandon Staley. As far as I'm concerned, if you can pick an MVP, Brandon Staley is an MVP. Chase Young and Cam Jordan had 10 plus sacks. When the last time you see the Saints defense had two guys with 10 plus sacks? It's been a very, 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 very long time. And the Saints got two guys who did it. You also got guys like Sanker who stepped up. You guys got guys like Quincy Riley. You got guys like Kool-Aid McKinstry who made a year 2 jump. You got guys like Alante Taylor still balling. So the Pelicans got youngins in the room. And that's important. So now what you got to do is really build off it. Demario Davis, is he coming back? Cam Jordan, is he coming back? So the talent level is there. Now you just got to get some hunters. You got a base, a foundation. Now you just got to get you some plywood, some 2x4s. You know what I'm saying? Some sheetrock. And you got to go to work. Because guess what? Teams coming to knock that down. They coming to drill holes in your wall. You know, they're coming to, straight kill your concrete, your foundation. They come to do whatever it takes to get rid of you as a threat in the NFC South. And as far as I'm concerned, Tyler Shough looked like one of the better quarterbacks in the NFC South. But as far as the NFC South concerned, they're going to get better too. Now that they know they have to plan for a quarterback in New Orleans, expect the other teams to be very defensive, pass rush, and cornerback happy this coming offseason because of Tyler Shough. Because they know, like you know and I know, weapons are coming for Shough. And if weapons are coming for Shough, defenders have to come on that side of the ball when it comes to the NFC South teams. We've seen this with Drew Brees. Now, I'm not saying Tyler Shough is Drew Brees just yet or on the level of Drew Brees. But what I'm saying is, if we think Tyler Shough is who he say he is, if we think he is who the fans are saying he is, guess what? The teams feel the same way, and they're coming to hunt. So it's going to be a remarkable offseason. Even though the Saints lost and got swept by the Dirty Birds, that hurts to say, it's going to be a remarkable offseason. Mainly because I want to see how Kellen built his team. I seen how Sean Payton built his team. You know, mismatches everywhere. Speed guys, height guys, mismatch nightmares. But what is the Kellen Moore system? The identity of the system. What is Kellen Moore trying to accomplish? 3 things I'm expecting to be fixed when it comes to the New Orleans Saints. 1, gotta start starting ball. You just gotta start starting ball games faster. That's one thing that didn't change at all. That number one thing when it comes to consistency have to change. We gotta start starting faster. Point blank period. It's okay to be in a game all game. You don't have to wait till the second half, the third quarter, or the late in the fourth to take a lead or have a lead in the game. That's the one thing. Number 2, how are we going to attack short yardage situation? 3rd and 1s, 4th and 1s. We got to get better at that. There's no bigger ass whipping that the Saints took than Kellen Moore trying to go for it on 31 and not making it with either Taysom Hill or running back, fullback, whatever, quarterback sneak, tush push, whatever it is. We got to find a way to get more consistent at that. And I know the offensive line plays an important role when it comes to that. But like I said, offensive line is a big issue too. Interior offensive line. So there's a lot that he can learn from, that he could get better at, that can make this team more explosive. The last few games, they was averaging 27 points a game. But I can't fault them for this because they had a lot of guys out. It was basically just Jawan Johnson and the guys. So I'm not going to hold this one against them. You got to be fair when it comes to what the guy is actually playing with and who Kellen Moore is calling players for. Another thing, 3rd thing, I'm looking for Mickey to build on what he's already built. Now you got a young set of infusion when it comes to the players and the talent on this team. It's almost seemed like every level you have a successor. And that's a good thing. On defense, you have Kool-Aid, Alante, And you have Quincy Riley. That's a great young nucleus. You have Sanker, but you also have the old veteran in Justin Reed. That's a good thing. You have Demario Davis, but you also have Danny Stuntsman. That's a good thing. You have Cam Jordan, who's on the back of his career, but you also have a young Chase Young. Good thing. See what I'm saying? You got a Breesy, another young stud. A good thing. So on the defensive side, it seems like they're going to be building quite nicely for a long time, because for every position you name, there's probably a successor already in the building. So they straight on the defensive side, even though they're going to get better and younger, they're straight. Now, the offensive side is what has become tricky, because you don't have a tight end. You have a Chris Olave, and he's young himself, but you're going to need another big body guy. Jalen Polk is coming, so hopefully he can add that. Vele was hurt. He showed some flashes, so hoping he could build on the season that he had late. Also, you need another speed guy. You got rid of Rashid Shaheed, so you get somebody to take the top off the defense that's not just Olave. You'll be in good shape. Third thing, running back. Boy, you need a running back. Yes, I know Devin Neal could tote that rock. Yes, I know Estime could tote that rock. Yes, I know Kamara could tote that rock. But we need a 1,000-yard rusher. I'm not sure if any of those guys are a 1,000-yard rusher now. But eventually, I think they can develop into it. It's a long shot, but who knows? So we'll see what they do at the running back position. But that offensive line has to find some bodies. And they have to do it ASAP. This shuffling, the musical chairs that the Saints are doing every year with this offensive line, it has to stop. You got a quarterback now. You have to protect him or you're going to get him hurt. Point blank, period. And selfishly, honestly, to you guys, I hope we get a fullback. I'm tired of this finesse-ass running game without people getting hit in the mouth. I want people to pay for trying to stop the run. We need to find us a fullback somewhere. Blocking something to hit somebody in the mouth. Break their will and spirit and let them know we running the ball and ain't nothing you can do about it. But that's a topic for another day. That's just my 2 cents. Also, back to when I said Brandon Staley is the MVP. This guy, I'm praying I ain't going to say that because that ain't fair. I'm going to say I'm praying he doesn't get a job. But I'm praying he wants to be in New Orleans for a few more seasons. If he gets another job, a head coaching job anywhere, you can't stop that. He deserved that. He earned that with this team because it didn't look bleak. And it didn't look exciting early. And he turned that thing around fast. Guy knows defense. But if he doesn't and he wants to be in New Orleans, this unit could be a load to deal with, in the future. So shout out to Brandon Staley, man. He did an amazing job, and he doesn't even have all the pieces to the puzzle. He's like need 30 Lego blocks, and he only got about 8 of them. So shout out to Brandon Staley. He did an amazing job, man. Kellen Moore came along. He started running the ball more. He started getting more consistent with the run, and the results showed. 4 straight wins. When it came to the end of the season. So players are starting to believe. That's important. The players are coming together in the locker room. That's important. And they're rallying around a quarterback and coach. So that tells me he's leading the team the right way and players believe. And that's all we wanted when it came to the head coach. We know he wasn't the top hire. We know he wasn't their top guy. But sometimes not getting your top guy is a blessing. They got the right guy. And that's what it looks like so far. He may not be coach of the year or anything like that because he struggled early. But anybody that's consistently learning from their mistakes, you got to give a person credit. He got better. And that's all we can look for as a fan base. And last but not least, let's talk about the veterans. The guys like Cam Jordan and Demario Davis, guys like Eric McCoy, Alvin Kamara, these guys, the core unit of your team that's been here for a very, very, very long time. What do the Saints do with these guys this offseason? That's the $1 million question. Are the Saints telling Cam Jordan and Demario Davis, look, buddy, we know you still can produce. And because you still can produce, we sending you to a Super Bowl contender because we don't feel we quite there yet? Or are the Saints saying, man, continue to lead the guys. We'll bring you back on a 1-year basis, year by year, until you're ready to hang it up. Do I feel like Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, and Alvin Kamara have earned the right to call a shot? Yes, I do feel like that. But it's up to them. I don't know what they want to do, and I don't know what the organization want to do. But the most important thing is, it's always good to do right by guys who have bled black and gold, who has laid it all on the line, and may have a change of heart. Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, and Alvin Kamara are going to always be Saints. But at the end of the day, you got to give a guy a chance if you feel like he have a chance to win a Super Bowl elsewhere. Their leadership probably will be missed, but this is the whole point of building. Guys learn from them, and they're going to pass those on, those stories and learning ability and the things that they learned in the locker room because they had their vets. And I'm sure you can sign under vets to lead them also. But it's interesting to see what the team going to do. Me personally, I bring Cam and Demario back. Why not? If they want to be back. Same thing with Alvin Kamara. You're not going to make any money by releasing them. Might as well bring them back. And I think that's going to be very important about how you build this team, because how they lead obviously helps this team. There's a standard, and they make sure the standard is met by holding other players accountable. Just saying. They are guys you look to when you build a culture. And Kellen obviously looked to them. They staked the course, and they came out on the other side quite nicely. So, all not to hold you guys here long, but there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. The most important ones when it comes to the quarterback has been answered. But now, how do they build? How do they establish an identity going to 26? Is what we're going to discuss on future episodes. So all we can do is celebrate Shough, celebrate how they fought, celebrate how the defense fought, celebrate the potential of the defense getting even better, probably with more takeaways, better at stopping the run, things that they struggle with. And look forward to winning in the South next year. So without further ado, let's get ready to shuck that South. Let's get ready to shuck that South, because we about to tear it down. Let the Panthers and Bucks, you know what I'm saying, do what they do now. But we coming next year. You best believe we coming next year. You can go ahead on and mark it on your calendars. 2026, 2027 NFC South champions, the New Orleans Saints, we coming. And if we not, we going down swinging. That's all I'm saying. But other than that, man, I ain't gonna hold y'all here. Man, I appreciate y'all watching the channel. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that like button. Comment. Tell me what you think. You know what I'm saying? Tell me what you think about the end of the season. Give me your grades. What is it? A+, the Saints, how they finished the season. B+, C-, whatever it is. Let me know, man. Hit me up in the comments. Tell me, what's your grade of the New Orleans Saints as a whole team this whole season? I want your honest grade. Hit me up in the comments and tell me and let me know, man. But as always, thank you guys. Thank you for watching the Saints Sports Corner. Have a great night.